Hello, and welcome to another Block Chat. This time, it's Denis Petrovcic and Makram Hani talking mainly to our community. And yes, if you're not part of our community already, I'm sure you will enjoy the material that will be presented. You will know more about us, and you will understand much more about version 2, version 3, and what's coming, as well as what have happened already over the past year. Most important, what we'll be talking about is what's coming, stuff that people are waiting for, our community is waiting for since some time, and hopefully very, very soon most of it is becoming active and becoming a reality. Please tune in, ask us the questions. We are with you on chat, so we are able to answer your questions. Whatever questions we're not able to answer, I promise you will take it to another block chat, the one after. We're on every week, so you'll get bored of us. We'll always come back. Dennis, how are you?
Doing well, doing well. The new year's here, right?
Yep, it is.
We had a marathon of all the recordings that all the episodes we did last year, right? It was last week. How many episodes are we
39.
recording now?
39. Today is the 40th.
Okay. Oh wow.
Shall I tell you a secret that no one knows probably?
Tell me. Go ahead.
So we ran the.
It's not going to be a
only
secret
between me and you.
anymore.
Nobody else is listening.
Okay,
Don't worry.
okay. All right.
Yeah. So we've ran the 39 hours. We've ran it actually for longer than 39 hours. And what we've done is we've created them in a playlist and we shuffled them and we allowed it to run for that period of time. Now, I wake up in the middle of the night. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm sleeping. Things are running. I wake up in the middle of the night. I go down to drink water, and I don't usually wake up in the middle of the night, yeah, because I only sleep like 4 or 5 hours, so there's no middle of the night for me. So went down, and then I opened the door to the office, and I saw the streaming running with someone else on, not you, not me, not any of our guests. And then I hit my head, and I discovered that for some reason there is a Harvard. It was something good, yeah, probably more valuable than the material we provide. It was a Harvard talk that was running, and I don't know why it was part of our stream.
Okay.
And then the only thing I could do, it's the middle of the night, is turn off the stream. Or don't turn off the stream. Turn off the playlist, and then restart it again. So again, I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but I looked at that time. There was like 4 viewers over there. I said, I hope I would know who are those 4 viewers, because they were listening to something very interesting, and then we cut them off, and then we put you and me again on it. So by the way, if you want that Harvard session, guys, get in touch with us. We'll stream it on for you again. That is on what's coming, and there's much coming, I believe. Sorry.
Just one more thing, as we were discussing the background, we were discussing, I was like, sorry, man, I don't know really how we can do this, like how we can do this marathon of streams. And Makram was like, don't worry, I'm gonna take care of it. Don't worry about it, Dennis. I know how to do it. So yeah, good that you woke up in the middle of the night.
So guys, community of Blocksquare and everyone else, because I believe everyone is community, is tokenization community. If you're not, you are, but you just don't know it yet. You're eventually gonna be part of this drive. And the drive is driven by many, us and others, although I fancy a headline that was put yesterday by a very prominent tokenization blogging site or blog that said how Blocksquare is driving real estate tokenization. Did we pay for that, or was that somebody who loved us?
Honestly, I
Perfect.
don't know. First time I hear about it, but I think
We
that's
don't
happening,
pay. We
right?
don't pay. Okay, so it was pretty interesting. I love the subject and I love the content as well. And
Yeah.
yes, we hope to be driving tokenization and progress of tokenization because we do believe that there is a commercial element behind it, definitely, guys, because we're here a commercial entity and we're into making money and making uh, bigger sums of money rather than smaller sums of money. However, we want to do that by allowing everyone in the world access to real estate. That is, in our opinion, one of the best asset classes that anyone can have. And we discovered with time that it's not only access to real estate; it's access to that collaborative power that can give people access to too many things and can give communities access to things they do need, from schools to bridges to everything else. So this opens doors, and we're still discovering new doors that tokenization can open. I don't believe we've discovered all doors yet. Um, our community is very we're blessed. I believe we're blessed with a community that's very active, that they really care about the project, they care about the fundamentals. We're not a hype driven community. You will look at our community, you will not see hundreds of thousands of people and all in to see what's the price tomorrow morning. Yeah, there is a price chat every now and then, but this is not what everyone is all about, so we're blessed with that. However, they want, because they are all about fundamentals and the project basics, they want such things to happen, and they want to have it happen right. And we would love to update you and thank you for the patience you've shown and update you on what's coming. And trust me, what's coming is very interesting. And starting by the end of this month, what's happening end of this month with version 2.02, Dennis?
So, well, those who follow us for some time now, since we launched Ocean Point in 2022 February 22nd, actually, know that the first iteration was to bring the community to create a governance token to be able to receive governance over certain decisions, and the second step was enabling owners of real estate assets to start exploring what we provide as a DAO, and that exploration a lot of times means, let's tokenize your property. And people often say, why should I do it? What's in it for me? And there's obviously a lot of things that you can do once with tokenization, besides the most obvious, which is basically either using tokens as collateral or creating a token sale to liquidate some of your real estate asset. Um, but we wanted to create a no risk situation for real estate owners to have an incentive um, to tokenize real estate, to go through the process, right? And what we came up with is the concept of staking. So by tokenizing your real estate property, you go through that initial structuring process, and then uh, after that, you receive 10% of your property represented in tokens, which means you would receive 10,000 tokens. And you would be able to earn a passive income in Blocksquare's token throughout a minimum period of 6 months. And by the end of January, what's happening is that the first owners of property to start staking will be actually able to unstake and retrieve the property tokens to their wallet, and kind of that will start a process of them being able to unlock the BST tokens that they have earned. I think this is like a big milestone for everybody who's not Web3 native, but has kind of pledged, in a way, their property to experience something new. And I hope this experience is going to be very positive for them once they realize what is the value that they have accrued over this period of time, and that hopefully creates an additional incentive for them to start digging even deeper, right?
So to understand here, right? For everyone who've staked their properties, for everyone who've tokenized their properties, around 6 months ago, we started offering people tokenizing property on our account. And what we've done is we said you can tokenize the property. We're not having a public offering of the property tokens yet. However, you can stake those tokens and earn tokens as a result. And the tokens that you earn are the Blocksquare tokens. Now, you've tokenized. Thank you so much for everyone who believed in that. And yes, it's a milestone because I believe here is we're opening the box. People who were not, because some people just out of belief in the project or out of belief on someone who believes in the project, because some of the project community members have referred others, or some of them are belief in Dennis, belief in myself, or a belief in someone they know around the project. They have tokenized their property. Now they will receive the rewards, real tokens that they can have, and that will happen end of this month. Definitely, by the way, guys, it won't happen for everyone end of the month. Yeah, it will happen gradually for people who have started staking first and start tokenizing their properties first, and then on we go. But this is opening that opportunity. Now, just to say what will happen afterwards, Dennis, you you can unstake, but you can continue staking, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically, if you tokenize real estate, you now will have two options, right? That are currently available. One is you can leave your BSPT tokens in the pool and continue earning BST, or you can decide to withdraw your BSPT tokens, which means the tokens of your property. And after you do that, you will stop earning BST, but the amount you have earned so far will start vesting. So vesting is a mechanism through which your rewards will be unlocked gradually over a period of 24 months. And you can withdraw a proportionate amount every minute, essentially every block, right? As it passes. But what it means is, like, if you've earned 24,000 BST, it would unlock 1,000 per month of BST would be unlockable for you. Um,
And you can
but
stake the
after
BST. So
but and afterwards you can go and you can engage in the governance pool. You can stake that BST. So that's one of the options. And one of the other options that we'll talk also right after is version 03, right? Which is now we believe the time to launch it is finally kind of, hopefully the turmoil of end of last year has a bit settled. We want to have a positive outlook on the market when we launch, as this is one of a strategic preference that we have as a team when to launch at the next iteration. It's just as important as building it, right?
so
So to go back to
yeah.
those who are staking real estate, you will have certain options available, as we said. And then when version 04 comes later on, you'll also have the option to sell your tokenized real estate, or sell it to lock the tokens of your real estate asset into Ocean Point to mint points, and be able to kind of diversify your portfolio in a way, right?
So
Um,
let's clarify, if you don't mind, first the not
yeah.
clarify, because we've done a session on that. I believe it's session, if I'm not mistaken, it's session 12. Okay. Oh no, sorry, it's session 08. Okay, it's
Okay.
block chat 8. Um,
Okay.
don't shoot me if I'm wrong, guys. So what we've said is, if you've staked the BST, the property token, the SPT, you have few options now, starting end of the month. One of them is unstake, or option number two is to continue to stake. Okay. Now,
Yes.
if you continue to stake, you will continue to earn. Obviously, earning may change because the rewards, the reward pool, and who's earning the rewards will change with time. But still, you can continue to earn. And guys, you would say that the number of BSTs I'm earning in the future may be less. However, hopefully, the value with the ecosystem growing will be more. because the underlying is better. So you can continue staking, you can unstake, and then as the vesting or the release happens, unlock BST. After that, you can take this BST into the governance pool, and then the BST in the governance pool will earn you again. You know, the infinite property owner's mindset, where he would earn out of the earning, and then the earning would earn again. And this is the kind of compounding that you would want to do. And I'm sure many of you are excited about it, because I see on our, I'm not so active on our Telegram and Discord, unfortunately, because it's overwhelming sometimes. However, I see that some people are talking about, I just need 8,000 tokens more, or BST more, to achieve this target that I have. So hopefully this will help you guys achieve it. Now, other options of yours is to sell the tokens to the open market, and that's something that we can discuss onwards. And the last option is to tokenize, destake, and take your property back and say, quits. You don't want to hear much of us for the considerable future. You will hear of us, but probably you don't want to hear from us. So hopefully that no one of you will take that choice. Now, version 03. So that's version 02. The what's happening end of the month is very exciting. Let's go version 03. What is happening? What's coming for version 03, which everyone in the community is waiting for and excited about?
So we've talked about version 03, I think, already a couple of times. And one of the things that we've been discussing is liquidity mining, right? How to create a liquidity mining tool that promotes long-term liquidity over short-term liquidity. Because the essential job of Ocean Point is to provide liquidity to be an effective market maker for all the marketplaces that are being built with our infrastructure, right? And so we need to have this very simple, but so a very simple, but as well effective method of locking in liquidity for longer periods of time that is able to reward those who stake for longer periods, but as well kind of enable short-term stakers to get involved. So the version 03 will introduce this mechanic. The smart contract is been basically audited with our auditing partner Hacken, just like for version 01 and version 02. And we'll introduce under the section asset pools, sorry, not asset pools, but liquidity pools, you will see the first row through which users will be able to lock in LP tokens. We were discussing with Julia about how to communicate to our community that has never provided liquidity on protocols like Uniswap, for instance, to better understand. So we will create a set of articles in the coming weeks for those who are either just first time learning about this concept or how to engage. It's going to be the first time for them to provide liquidity to a pool. Also, we kind of hope that those from the community who have had the experience before are able to support those who have not yet learned about this process. Why is this important? Because the same mechanics, the same way of providing liquidity to our core pool right now, which is BST and ETH, will be used throughout the lifetime of Ocean Point. Right now, we will be able to support liquidity pools on Uniswap. We will start the BST ETH, and then we will move forward with maybe introducing a pool where a stable coin is involved, maybe DAI or USDC. And then in time, this will also be used to provide liquidity for point tokens after version 04 is introduced. So the same mechanics, when you learn this, you will know how to earn and contribute and be part of Ocean Point on the long run. It's going to be the same mechanics all the time.
So for the non experienced of us who have not done this before, you mentioned that what will be possible is that liquidity mining, in other words, we are able to have this liquidity or the power of this liquidity unlocked, and we'll be able to have. Is that a more liquid ecosystem? So when you say we are supporting a ETH BST on Uniswap, does this mean that there will be more liquidity to have that traded within that pool?
Hopefully, yes. This is the goal of any liquidity mining campaign, short term or long term, however it is created, right? What will happen is right now we have two two products in a way: the governance pool and the asset pool that earn each 250,000 BST each per month. So the monthly rewards are around 500,000. And now what will happen, those rewards will be split between three pools. One is the governance pool, the asset pool, and the liquidity pool on Uniswap. And the split will be half of the 500K will go into for those providing staking on Ocean Point liquidity tokens. And half will be split equally between the other two pools, the governance pool and the asset pool. So basically, those that are engaging in those pools will see returns drop by half, more or less, while those engaging in the liquidity pool rewards mechanism, they will be rewarded for providing liquidity. And this is basically when you provide liquidity into a Uniswap pool, you earn 0.3% on each trade based on how much liquidity you have locked in that pool, right? So
So how do
here
people
with
do that process? Will we have a session, probably a block chat session, as soon as we
yes,
launch version 03 to assist people in taking forward that process?
yes, exactly. We'll do the whole thing. We'll do recordings, maybe in shorter recordings, maybe not even on the block chat, but just be able to kind of provide as much guidance as possible through the docs section, most probably, and kind of a step-by-step guide. Yeah.
Perfect. So that's version 03, and we are, as you said, the smart contract has been audited. So we're very close to launching. And now what we're working on with our CMO, Julia, is getting our community informed. This is what we're doing now as we speak. Yeah. Now, what's next? What's afterwards?
So I mean, of course, we want to kind of focus on these two milestones that we have just in front of us. But definitely, then the next thing that everybody is probably so excited to see is the first kind of fully functional Ocean Point version, where points get introduced and which we currently are talking about version 04. So with version 04, the mechanics that are available for those who have tokenized their property are going to be additional. They're going to get additional functionality from it, and they will be able to basically lock in a proportion of their property that has been tokenized, receive in return points, and utilize those points in either providing liquidity on Uniswap, and then also earning additional BST on the side. But as well, they are going to share a proportion of the revenues with the pool of assets, and that those revenues are going to be used to buy back BST. So that's going to create then the full kind of circle of, some call this tokenomics of what Ocean Point is introducing to BST. And I think this is kind of a very, very exciting moment for everyone to see this evolve and kind of how this moves the engine. And our role here will be to add additional properties into the mix, just create more and more value for the whole ecosystem, but as well add new marketplaces, which is something that we've been doing quite well in the last couple of months, I believe.
What are our goals, Dennis, for the coming year? So let's look at our goals. What are our main goals? Yes, version 03 probably is a very big milestone that everyone, including internally, have been waiting for. But what are our general goals?
I think like we had this milestone of 50 million worth of real estate that we wanted to tokenize last year, which we hit, and I think this year we have. I mean, our path is kind of clear. We want to double these numbers. We want to reach a certain amount of marketplace operators, and I think these are all kind of the basic numbers that we can influence with the work that we do. And we hope for our marketplace operators to be successful as well. So I want to see marketplace operators like BrickTrade launching, being successful in creating the first set of offerings, getting, growing a lively community around the deals that they are able to kind of bring to the marketplace. And I think this is kind of the general goal to be like the best solution on the market for anybody who is operating a marketplace, even those who already are maybe pre-launch or launching and have commitments with maybe some other provider. They can definitely reach out to us and see what they're missing.
You're reading the question that's in my head. So, what I wanted to say is, when I look at our pipeline now of people interested to launch marketplaces and operate it, you will see that the numbers are much bigger, and you will see that the approach that the parties approaching us now and the targets of theirs and the size of theirs is much bigger as well. What do you refer that to? And some of them used to be connected to another solution and are changing. Why would you say that is happening?
Um, well, sometimes when there's a downtrend, there's also we see companies that are unfortunately forced to discontinue their operations. That's something. It might also be um, due to the technology that a white label provider has certain dependencies on some other providers. It might be a KYC provider. It might also be a payments processor, or you know, um, and um, and we've seen certain cases, companies doing layoffs. Even just recently, Coinbase just decreased by another 20% their workforce, and that obviously the role of a CEO in a downtrend market is, let's cut our losses, let's focus just on our core business where revenues are being generated, and any initiatives that were creating maybe a nice environment to work in are just being discontinued. And a lot of times when you look at real estate tokenization, you have vendors who are really dependent on the support and contract they have with this kind of bigger providers. But if the contract is then being canceled, what's going to happen, right? So here I'm really proud of our technical team, where we really architectured as much as possible to not be dependent on on centralized entities as much as possible, of course. For instance, we still have a very reliable KYC partner, um, but in case that's like a low hanging fruit in case you need to switch to another provider, honestly. So in terms of implementing that transition, it's not something that would prevent us from operating.
Do you feel that solutions that are Web 2 rather than Web 3, but present themselves as a Web 3 solution, and are discovered with time as a non Web 3 or fully Web 3 solution, do you think that that's a thing that is affecting our increase of interest, especially from parties who have started looking at the tokenization as a solution since some time?
Yeah, maybe, maybe there's probably different factors that influence this, but we've been discussing this topic in our last executive board meeting, and it's you see that Web3 really needs to be utilized. Like the market is showing, if you're not gonna go with a solution that's self-custody, how are you going to prove, as a small company, how are you going to prove to the market that you're not an FTX, you're not a Celsius, you're not I don't know, a company that can manages user funds and purposely or not purposely does it badly, right? With self-custody, a user might have a bit harder time if they're not used to using a MetaMask wallet. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal anymore. It's quite easy to manage a wallet, to have some funds on that wallet, at least for most of the world. So it's something that gives additional confidence to a user that their funds are being kept safe. And in a downturn, expecting the general public to hop on your tokenized real estate marketplace, I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but you can damn sure, be sure that the Web3 market is going to be really interested in the deals that you provide, because there's no yields outside of this. Like, which assets are really producing any revenue at the moment, any returns, positive returns, aside of real estate at the moment. And even real estate in many markets is maybe on a downtrend, but real estate has always cash flows. And I think this is like a big differentiator from anything else. And if you're
I've put
able to
some
induce
time.
trust, sorry?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Then I'll tell you.
Yeah, if you're able to create a trustworthy brand that puts Web3 first and presents deals as accurately as possible, so to have a way to set expectations on the right path for potential investors, they will be successful. This kind of brands, I believe, will be successful, and the infrastructure we provide is equipped for this type of brands.
Let me ask you a very fast question. Did you try Chat GPT?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
How did you find it?
You need to run it a couple of times to be able to learn a bit how to use it, right? But I used it on. I actually had a brainstorming session using ChatGPT, and it was basically, I was out of potential questions that you could ask to create a frequently asked questions section on a certain topic. And I was like, what are the most basic questions for a software as a service tech startup? and I received a list of questions, and it helped me think of the actual questions that then had to be answered.
We got acquainted very fast, and as usual, I asked many silly questions, and then asked a question. I started asking questions that I believe it should not be able to answer. Okay, and one of the questions I've asked is, what is real estate 6.0?
Okay.
And I promise you, I was shocked with the reply, my man. So it talked about real estate 1.0, real estate 2.0, real estate 3.0, 4.0. I posted it on LinkedIn. Check it out. Okay. I promise you, it knows about real estate much more than many people I know, probably including me. So it's amazing. I asked questions also, other silly questions or non-expected to be answered questions, similar to, give me please the history of the last 300 interest rate hikes in the US. And it answers, the idea is that, it has a limit on the historical references that it does have. That's the only challenge, I believe. And probably that's meant to be, because if they open it to the internet, because it gave me several times answers to say, I'm not open to the internet. 2021 is the final thing. However, I really would love, I believe if that thing is open to the internet, it would be, um, it would know many things that we would love to know. And it would take us usually ages to sizzle through. But you can ask very difficult questions and it answers in an amazing way. For example, what will happen to Dubai property market in 2023? I promise you, it gave me a perfect answer that's way beyond the textbook. Seriously, I'm not joking. And it's something lovely. I'll tell you a secret, however, no one should know except you and myself. It took me
Okay.
4 days to know how to log into. So I started by typing Chat GPT, and Google open AI, and I did not understand that through OpenAI is the company that, and then you can access. So this is how
It's like
technology can
Blocksquare and
actually
Ocean
unlock.
Point, right?
Sorry.
Just like Blocksquare and Ocean Point.
Exactly. 100%. So, Dennis, I believe we've answered many of the questions to our
Yeah.
community, and I have one very final question before I leave it for you to close this time on your own. Um, we have been developing marketplaces alongside partners, and we have many that we're very excited to launch very soon, and in diverse locations in the world, diverse jurisdictions. The team have been putting an effort, and here, big hats off to Julia with the effort she's been putting, and the introductions that she's been making, and she's going way beyond, I believe, what anyone would expect on doing those introductions. Here, when are we gonna go for a funding round? Is that part of the plan? Because we're asked this question every day. Yeah, every day we're asked, why have you run on very little outside funding? Are you trying to keep it all to yourselves, or what's the situation? And and this is a question that's always asked. Um, let's answer that if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's not like we didn't have any outside funding. We raised so far 500,000, and put a lot of resources from the founding team. So I think this is already something that shows the commitment of the core team behind Blocksquare. I think this is kind of one of the important things in building Web3 infrastructure. It's essentially having a fully doxed team with a long-term horizon and a long-term commitment and deep understanding of what it's doing. Right? It's definitely not a one-off. And on the other side, we had previously considered doing a certain founding round, but what we saw is that um, a lot of times they were evaluating what we built without considering that we've actually built something. So a lot of times people were, amazed. Oh, you actually have a product, right? And you have, and now we have as well clients and partners and etc. So it's becoming more and more obvious that we can't really contain this anymore in this current setup, and that we need to grow. as a company. And to grow, you can't rely on organic growth or let's say natural growth of clients, but you need to kind of boost that somehow. And here's something that we've been preparing now, and yeah, and a funding round is imminent, I believe, for
So for everyone
2023.
asking, it's coming. For everyone interested, feel free to get in touch already with us, because we are okay to take pre-registrations, people and parties who are interested. We want strategic partners, not generally, not any partners, but we're at the point now where we are, where it's the right time for us. Remember, we're not pre-product. Remember, we're not just starting with a concept. We're at a point where the product is ready, or there is a product ready, and the additions to the product are happening as we talk, so that we can have finished. Not only V1 is launched, version 02 is launched, version 03 is imminent, and version 04 afterwards directly, which I believe after version 03 everything is much easier generally. So
And here we're talking about Ocean Point, right? But then we have the whole set of marketplaces, which is now closing to number 10, I think. And this is all clients that are kind of trusting us to run on our technology. And there we have as well, we're generating sales through that process as well, either on parties acquiring BST or direct relation with invoicing. So, I mean, we're definitely growing our scope, and we're able to continue as is. But I think there's an opportunity with every downtrend. There's, if Coinbase is releasing 20% of its workforce, and if all the other companies are doing similarly, the number of talent available on the market is huge, and the opportunity for an investor should be the people, that the team that can be created through their investment, because in the end, a powerful team can create powerful products and powerful markets. And I believe that this is like the key of timing. Why now?
yep, yep. Dennis, any last words to our community?
No, I think be active, be on Discord, be on Telegram. Follow Julia's announcement, and tell us what you want to learn um, about Ocean Point, about version 023. You can get active on even building the product. We had people from the community that have joined act more actively the engagement in the DAO. Remember, we are as powerful as all the people that are involved in the process. It's not just then about using Twitter and getting others to know what we're doing. That's very powerful, but I believe everybody has a certain knowledge that they can contribute. And so reach out to us, and let's move this forward.
Thank you so much. Guys, with the first block chat, this is the first block chat of 2023, yeah? It
Exactly.
is. With the first block chat of 2023, I would like to thank you all, and being part of our bigger family at Blocksquare. And at the same time, stay tuned. Much is yet to come, and very exciting stuff. And now is the time, yeah? Now it's when things start spiraling in a very fun way. Thank you all. Dennis, thank you. On another block chat, wait for us next Thursday.